Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Okay, you have anything? Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Any unfinished business?
John, could I just add one thing?
Yeah.
Since Bob isn't here, but last night was the sports awards at the high school, and I just want to highlight, there's so many great things about that, but I want to highlight Joel made a special note that in the flyweight conference, there's 6 girls sports during the year. The Mayville girls brought home conference championships in 3 of those sports, second place in 2 of those sports, and third place in another one. So he just highlighted the strength of our girls program across all the sports in the conference, and that our boys improved quite a bit and continue to grow that. But I just thought that was a pretty neat highlight, and Joel broke it down like that, and what a powerhouse we really are in the conference for our girls. So
Very good. Perhaps it was included. Good. New business, we have resolution 1718246, approval of resignation, Sarah Doppel, high school teacher.
So moved.
Motion by Norb, second by Joel. Any questions on this resignation? Norb?
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion carried 6-0-1. Resolution 1718247, approval of gift from euphonium and sheet music from Thomas Van Boven.
So moved.
Motion by Dick, second by Ron.
I played one for 6 months and never knew it. I thought it was a baritone.
It's the same thing.
What is it?
It's a large version of a trumpet.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah. Well, no, it's a small version of a tuba.
There you go.
I heard that in the
Any of you, the Class A soloist, John Phillips Cruiser Award winner on euphonium in the room?
No, I just finished one.
Over here, it's a big trumpet. It's absolutely fine. So the thing with this instrument is that you can either, people can learn how to read it in treble or bass. So it's like, I was a trumpet player, converted into that instrument, and then other people, they actually read it in different.
I just heard that reference of euphonium in the music band, the song was 76.
Like a trombone.
No, it doesn't.
I know that. I know
It
that.
does not
I'm saying
It's
it's
not like a trumpet.
no, I didn't say that.
Just say you're wrong.
I played in a polka band with that instrument. That's the only instrument I know how to
Oh,
play.
yeah, if you hold it sideways like that,
No,
it looks like a
a trombone is another instrument that they learn how to play at bass. And so you can be a brass player, a low brass player, and not be able to read the same music that I did. So I learned I can play music with this hand, that's it, as a trumpet or a euphonium player. The other stuff just sits there, so I can't play piano. So when I was doing this is for the trombone, which is a bass.
I played them.
So that way there's a donation, which has nothing to do with me.
Yes.
Let's get back on track here. Thanks. So you talked about a euphonium, right? Which was the donation, and which is fantastic. So we had made an investment in the school district to start to either repair or purchase new equipment, just so you're aware, in the music program. So we started that new cycle this school year, just to make sure we're
I
keeping
thought
up.
that was always on the point.
Sounds good, Dick. So we welcome the gift, it's awesome.
Any questions on this? Yeah.
Besides,
Pretty
tell me what it
much.
is.
We have to go, should I pull it up on the screen?
Yeah, I Googled it.
There
That's
is
why I
a
know
picture of
that.
it if you scroll down.
Super. Why didn't I scroll down further? Why didn't I scroll down further? There, yay.
I never knew what it
It was a
was.
very
Played it
comprehensive.
for 6 months.
They didn't have accordions when I got to high school.
All right.
All right, Dick?
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion carried 6-0-1. Resolution 1718248, approval of contracts, summer school teaching contracts. Motion by Norb, second by? Second. Joe.
Becky can come speak to her.
If you want me to speak to that colorful rainbow.
Mhm.
So the summer school classes are based off of tiers, so there's a key that's up on the upper left section that kind of shows the tiers. So RAD is going to be those classes that are more academically intensive, require a lot of prep. So they tend to be, the teachers are paid a little bit more for any of the hours that they teach classes of that magnitude. The low is kind of that those in-between classes, whereas the green or that tier 3 is going to be the classes that are like the sports classes where not necessarily a lot of prep that goes into it, not to the level that a tier 1 is. You'll see that there are some that are highlighted in kind of a turquoise blue. Those are going to be special contracts. Those tend to be like our J.D. Cooney's and our John Dobratz's who kind of work throughout the summer. The children's theater individuals, Stu Strook is another one that, as long as I've been part of it, his pay has been kind of grandfathered. So those are the ones that kind of get a different contract. Further down then, so that kind of shows you, the color show you for each of those teachers then, what level of classes they are teaching, and their grand total is over there on the right-hand column. Further down, there's some support staff that are going to be helping with the special ed learners who will be part of our summer school program. And then further down then will be the high school classes. So SIG is listed on there for her living skills class, and then the 3 teachers, we are working on the science teacher who will be added to this, but then there are 3 teachers who will be those high school resource teachers for the blended learning experience for the credit recovery. Danelle Anderson, who is our Guido 2 teacher and our credit recovery teacher right now at the high school, she will be kind of the coordinator of this blended learning experience that the kids will have. And then there's the 2 Jumpstart teachers. I'm still looking to fill the 1 Jumpstart teaching position.
Did the base go up by 2% or stay the same, or what did it change? Didn't change.
Yeah, this doesn't change, it stays the same.
Which we'll have to, I mean, do you know the last time it's changed?
It's been,
Okay, just probably look around the area
Okay.
coming up here. I mean, the good news is we were able to secure teachers, right?
Mhm.
So, no worries.
Any questions on this resolution for contracts, summer school contracts? Not, Norm?
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion carried 6-0-1. Resolution 1718-249, approval to hire a part-time custodian, Richard Wolbers. Motion?
So moved.
Motion by Dick, seconded by Norm.
Joel spoke to this at last meeting.
Yeah, yeah. Any questions on this approval to hire? Which was, we were informed on this last meeting, it wasn't on the agenda. Dick?
Aye.
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 Aye. I said aye.
You. Okay.
Motion carried 6-0-1. Resolution 1718-251, approval of agreement, physical therapy agreement with Domjack Therapy Associates. Need a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Norm, second by Jim. Lee?
This is a service agreement that I recommend that we commit to over the next 3 years due to the cost reduction that we have by committing to 3 years versus an annual bill. This is a service we used to receive through CISA. However, Dominique, Scott's history prior to coming here, as well as mine since I've been here,
The cost?
it's the best rate we can get for our kids that need physical therapy. And the other thing is it's still determined by service hours. So whether it's 20 kids or 5 kids, They only charge us for the hours that they provide our kids per the IEP. And they're wonderful with billing, they help us with our Medicaid and things like that, so this customer service has been outstanding. And so we're looking for approval to renew with Dominichek, who, Scott, I think we've been with now 2 years,
Well,
I believe.
before me, I just know that I navigated the transition from
Yeah.
CISA also to this, and as I kind of chimed in, it was almost at least half the cost, if not even more than that in savings when we transitioned from the CISA 6 model.
Yeah,
So,
and we have our own occupational therapist, just so everyone knows that this is simply for physical therapy on our students.
Is there service provided at our facility or
Yep.
at theirs?
Yep, in our facility.
the cost of
Good question.
services are, so those are the hourly rates. There's no guarantee, if you look at this, it doesn't say what we're paying, like on an annual basis. This is just making a commitment to working with Dominichek for over, and it locks in the rates over the 3 years, is what it does. But we only provide services for those students that qualify for the services. So, like, so I get a sports injury and I need physical therapy, you won't be getting that through the school district. So you actually can only get physical, which one of these, you can only get physical therapy if you qualify for occupational therapy? Which one is it? Or the other way around?
Other way around.
Yeah. Okay, so you can only get occupational therapy if you qualify for physical therapy.
Hold on.
I think I was right.
I think, yeah, you were.
I was right the first time.
Yeah.
You can only get physical therapy for the school district if it's going to be through an IEP, through an individual education plan. You can't just come, I broke my foot, I need some physical therapy. Not at all. This has to do with supporting the disability of that individual child.
And one nice thing about working with them is they have also outlets to find equipment that we might need. For example, we just bought some equipment the other day that they were able to, they were able to create a lease agreement with us at probably half the cost of what we would have gotten at, just because they have so many fingers around the state for medical suppliers in terms of equipment. So there was a savings there just by the association.
It's a very modest amount we actually spend on an annual basis. They come in your bills and.
I know there's a little sticker shock there probably on the hourly rate here, but
No,
That's
that's
good.
actually not a
That's a-
sticker shock at all. 'Cause
if you look at the big
prices are-
dollar amount, it's not.
My thing, the only question I had, and I don't know, I didn't see anything, what is the cost that we pay to CISA right now for the services for an annual basis?
You'll get there's some like pay-as-you-go services, but actually we have a CISA contract. That's gonna come to this summer still. We haven't received the new one, but it's pretty minimal overall in the big picture. So we used to have services like this come from CISA, and now it's changing more towards leadership, coordinated professional development type services, and not as much of itinerant services. So what kind of happened was, there'd be a good person that worked for them, we'd say, hey, why don't you come and work for us? And little by little, you start to see that exactly what happened. So, and then Dominichek came in as a new model and caused disruption big time. So CISA 6, all the CISAs in the state, they're kind of redefining themselves on where they fit as providing the itinerary
Providing those
services.
services.
Yeah, so I'm sure we could get it from there, but not, like, they provide that charge is for they're here for that hour. We're not providing for the 2-hour car ride and that kind of stuff. Nothing.
Years back,
That's not good.
we used to have all of our services through CISA because they were the only ones that provided it. But then, I think we used to spend like $600,000-$700,000 a year on services.
Way back, we did everything, all special ed was done through them.
That contract's coming, so when it comes, you'll see just how pared down it is. Well, actually, you wouldn't see how pared down it is, because we'd have to go back, maybe we could look back and see some historical data just to get apples to apples, so you know.
Any questions on this agreement?
Where is it? I've got a question. Nothing against this, but when we get contracts like this or bids, or do we ever negotiate anything? Do we just take what comes to us and, what they give us and take it, or do we negotiate?
You're not gonna negotiate with
No,
them?
that's what I'm
Check-
saying. No, I'm
Others,
saying,
for sure.
do we ever negotiate? They give us a $65 an hour price, so they say we pay you $55.
Right here was
Yeah.
a negotiation.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think we do run, in fact, we had a discussion today on some I-ready things about creating a different proposal that kind of a counter, I guess.
Okay.
So I think we're pretty comfortable when we have an opportunity to make a change in that.
Okay.
We do.
We usually just bid, we really don't negotiate, we'll put it out on bids.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I would say the formal process is go for bids, and then you say yes. Even then, you can come back and say, what do you think about this? I would say, yes, we do. It's informal, just as informal as in your world, that's what it would be with us. Before it gets to the board level, we've already navigated that. I would say like in a world like Dominichek, we already know the savings that we've experienced. So when I was working with Lori, who's the owner of Dominichek, there wasn't a lot of wheeling and dealing going on.
Do you
Because
know
there
what
was
the
such
market is
savings.
demanding at the time you're doing it? I mean, do you know what the market is?
I would know
actually-
2 years, I wouldn't be able to say to this dollar amount right now today. I could say 2 years ago, absolutely. So before I came to Mayville School District, I helped to work on that agreement for down at the other, my school district. So I can speak on behalf of that. I don't think it has radically changed, but that's the Director of Pupil Services and Special Education. So I put my faith in that guy over there, and he did speak directly with her about this.
And I'm not questioning this, I'm just
I would say to
curious.
your point, for example, Ron, when we've done when we've hired on new, or purchased new products like the iReady, what we've been able to do is, based on your purchase time of the year, maybe get an additional 6 months to 8 months. You know, if we pilot something now, we get a 6-month pilot free, so really we get 18 months of product for 12. And there's a fair amount of that you have an opportunity. But they're getting a little wiser because they're not having to give it away because they go to Horicon and they heard the deal Mayville got.
Where's this company actually located?
You know what, I always say Jackson.
I thought it was
I was just looking. I didn't see
Might be
it.
Germantown, I know it's left.
I didn't see an address on it, that's what I was just
Yeah.
wondering.
I have to Google it right now. So I would say, by the way, good luck securing any other rates lower than that. That's what I would say, based upon my experience.
First time we run upon this, it was a terrific deal. And we went from, I don't know if we had seats or if we had our own, or we had a
Any other questions on this agreement? Nord? Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
better.
Aye. Motion carried 6-0-1.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lee. Resolution 1718252, approval of seasonal employees. Need a motion? I'll move. Norm, second by?
Second.
Joe. Any questions on these seasonal employees? If not, Norm? Aye.
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 Aye. Motion carried 6-0-1. Resolution 1718253, approval of 2018-2019 employee handbook and teacher employee addendum updates.
Just get to go on.
Need a motion?
So moved.
Joe, second by?
Second.
Jim.
Okay, so we have our, we had the meeting with the Employee Benefits Advisory Group, and from there are some decisions that, some recommendations that were brought to the Negotiations Committee that represents the Board of Education. And all of that was in preparation for this Wednesday's enrollment meeting for all of our insurance, our benefits that we have. And what's important is that some of these updates needed to be presented tonight because that may impact people's decisions on what they're doing with the benefits. Is the big picture. So we had to make sure that we were prepared for that. In the meantime, so these are only updates to the employee handbook and teacher employee addendum that reflect this current round of information that needed to be prepared for Wednesday. there still will be more updates that are brought, again, to the negotiations group and then brought to the board. So you'll see employee handbooks for the base employee handbook, the teacher addendum, and the support staff addendum. They'll come back one more time prior to the beginning of the school year for more kind of procedure protocols. These are things that are involving benefits and cash-related stuff with the staff that I'm going to speak to. So we shortened the whole thing down because, I mean, these handbooks are very large. So the resolutions are approved to approve these updates. These are the updates. So the first one that you see, and you're going to see it shows up a few times, it's about payroll. So the goal is to streamline the payroll process, because right now we have the 1st and the 15th, and for support staff members that are filling out timesheets, it's not a, you can't look at the hours to see what did a work week look like. And then you have to manually go in and figure out what, if there is any overtime that's included in that, and it's a lot of this cross-referencing stuff. So after talking it out with people, the decision is that all payroll is going to be on a bi-weekly basis on Fridays. Done. Keep it simple. What that does do, though, is that for the professional staff, they choose on an annual basis if they're going to be 20 or 24 payrolls. So that teachers, they work all year round, their benefits are all year round, but they can choose, like back in the day, they would get all their summer checks right before they left. So this is a kind of a little bit of leftovers from the day when summer checks would be distributed. Now everything's direct deposit, that's what it comes down to. So they'll have a choice of 22 or 26 payrolls is what's going to occur. And we have a sheet actually that's been created that'll articulate the exact paydays for the 2018-19 school year and what impact that makes. And we shared it with the committee. You can actually see that extra payroll. There's 2 of them, and in there it had a $30,000 staff number. They brought home $6 extra because of it. You know, so there was an extra pay period in November and an extra pay period, I believe it was the month of May. Those are the 2 months. And they pretty much, it's just, people just have to change their budgets, that's all. So there's 2 months that there'll be extra pay periods in. So otherwise it's 2 months, there'll be 2 that have 3. So that's one of the biggest updates that you see in here. So you see that section. Payroll thing again. Okay, so now in the world of health insurance, so this old health insurance. In the world of wellness, what we found out is that we cannot differentiate between new hires and people who qualify for the wellness benefit. So new hires don't have a chance to qualify for wellness. So right now, we've got 3 different rates. We have, you qualified, you participated in wellness, therefore you paid this rate, which is 4.5%. You didn't, which is 6%. Or I gotta correct myself, you're new, so then you're at 6%, and then you did not participate in wellness, it's a 3% difference, so it's 7.5. And working with the broker, we found out that, nope, you cannot do that. So what we're doing is we're starting to make a move by increasing the employee's portion that they're paying towards premium. So says the district will, for people in wellness, will pay, the district will pay for 95.5. It is going to 94% is the recommendation, so that means they are picking up an additional 1.5% of the premium cost. Then in 1920, because what we have to do is be proactive for making any changes, we have to let the staff know if you participate in wellness, here's what the benefit is. Otherwise, it has to be equal increase or decrease on an annual basis. We have to prepare them for this. So then in 1920, the recommendation is that it's still at the 94% if you participate in wellness. So this is 6% that the employee is paying. For staff members that did not successfully participate in wellness in 17-18, so for this year they did not participate in wellness, then therefore they're going to 91%, which is, that means that they're going from 7.5% to paying 90% of the insurance. And then for in 1920, so 2 school years from now, we're letting them know if you don't participate in the wellness, it's going up to a 12% that they'd be paying towards the health insurance. So One, we're gonna do a lot of education next year on consumer, next school year on consumerism 101. A lot of discussion that we talked about with the negotiations group is how important it is for people to understand. So in this plan that I shared with you, there's something called telemedicine. Telemedicine costs zero for the employee to use, but it costs the district $45 a pop for them to use.